Hey, welcome in. I wasn't meant to be doing another stream, but I didn't finish what I started, which was to build two game gears for tomorrow. So I figured I'd just jump on. I've had a rest now. Jump on and finish what I should have done earlier, basically. So just give it a minute while I just answer these emails, and then we'll jump on it. Yeah, we're back again. I couldn't rest. I knew if I left it, I've just got more work to do when I wake up. So watched a bit of TV. And now, yeah, pretty much we're going to build the game gear. I've been and grabbed a ton more game gears. I say a ton more, it's all I've got left now. I found about probably 20 more 1A6, so we'll jump on that. And I should have fixed this microscope overlay thing as well. So if I went to this screen, this should be the microscope here, and now we shouldn't have any lag. So it's not lagging for me, and I presume the audio still works. That should be that fix now on the overlay there. How come your Twitch channel's not keeping all the... I don't know. I didn't think Twitch can keep the VODs. I've tried. Like, I can't see any settings that keep it, if you know what I mean. YouTube keeps them. I don't know why Twitch doesn't. And I'm just gonna oh, mind you, I don't need that. That's right, I'm trying to also hide all the overlays on the vertical to see if we can get that to stay live, basically. Right, let's get going anyway, or at least get started on some stuff. This is the one I just built earlier that needs an extension port on. So let's just whip that off first, off this one. I took down my arm that I had for holding this up because I needed it in the other room, but I did buy these little arm things here, so this should do the job anyway. Just grip that in, and then I can hot air this off, and all I do to hot air this off is pretty much go max temp and go underneath and just twist this off. And to be honest, I normally do it the other way around, don't I? I normally do it that way around, like that, I think. Yeah, there we go, easier. Oh, thanks for the sub. I think I get these grippers as well. And then I've got the new Blackmagic camera coming for this angle as well. So the diagonal angle should be new camera tomorrow. I just don't know whether I'm going to have a lens that's suited for the job. So I've got one of the Blackmagics in the games room now. I've got one above, which is the overhead cam. I've got one for the face cam now. The only other cinema lens I've got left is a 50 to 100, quite a zoomy lens. So we'll just have to see. I might have to buy another lens for replace this camera for a nice high def one as well. There we go, extension port off that one. I don't know if there's anything else we need on this. Nope, that's all done. So we've got one more, which we need to actually get this off as well. So we'll get the CPU off. Full focus for that. And then use my little suction tool to lift this off after. This little suction tool so we don't damage any legs. What brand of Flux do I use? I've gone back to Soldering. So I was using Stiri, which is basically most of you have probably heard of Amtech. Stiri are like the original creators of one of the recipes of Amtech made Stiri, so it was easier to source. but we used to use Solder King. It's like a UK brand, and we used to sell it. And I just went back to it the other day, well, a few weeks ago now. It was on one of these streams, and I showed how good it was for soldering down the Game Gears. So we went back to it, and I now sell it as well. So it's like basically called Solder King. That's a CPU off. Z80 I might as well get off as well while we're here. And then the extension port. And I think that's it. Then we can get to building another Game Gear. That's them two off. This over. Ooh, hot board. Is Flux in the solder one any good? As in, when you've got solder and you've got the flux inside of it already. Depends on your brand of solder and what you're doing. But yeah, I don't always use flux. If I'm soldering resistors and caps and things like that, I don't use flux. It's mainly for SMD chips and reflowing. That's when I'll use it. But the thicker the solder, the more solder flux is inside of it. Good starter microscope. If you've got a few hundred, just go with Amscope. Basically, it's I've probably got. Well, I've got one up the top that I don't really use because for my eyes, I don't know whether it's me interpupillary distance or whatever you call it, basically the space between your eyes. I don't know whether that doesn't work for me, or it's a type of scope. So I don't use it. I can sell it you for like 60 quid. It's just the head, so you'd have to get like any microscope arm will do. They all pretty much suit if you go on anywhere. You can get an arm to suit. If not, just go with Amscope. If you go in digital though, I forget the name, but it's something like Tom Lover or something. That's what I'd recommend for that one. What we're looking at today, another Game Gear. So I've just built this one up, a RePCB. I've got build at least another one for tomorrow in order to keep up. So we've got another RePCB here. I've just taken off the connectors because we need some. I'll leave that for Zach to put on. So we just need a connector and that one's good to go. I'll give him the other one ready for this board. And then I also already have this other slightly mangled Game Gear ASIC, which I don't know whether it's going to work. I don't know what it's for. It's been on my desk over Christmas. I'm not really sure why it's here, basically. You've got some bent legs here. So I'm going to have to try and straighten these in some way. Or, to be honest, considering it's a bit late and I'm lazy tonight, I'm going to leave that one on my desk for another day still. And I'll just grab another Game Gear. So we'll build another Game Gear from scratch. So let me move this one out the way. And let me grab another Game Gear. So let's pick a random one. This one will do. So, for those of you that remember the Game Gear, this is 1.5 with the back ripped open. And this is my tub of Game Gears that were just years ago, probably by now. Just tubs that we figured weren't good enough condition, basically, to use at the time. But now I've remade this brand new motherboard. We can just take off the ASIC here and reuse it. So I'm not sure why this one was not used. It doesn't look in that bad a condition. Maybe we just couldn't get it working at the time. You know, diagnostics wise, we probably didn't know as much back then about red light boot and things. It's probably just the red light boot circuit looking over here. The gunk, this leakage here has probably damaged something. So the chances are the chip mostly seems to always work on these. So we'll take that off and see. I'm not even going to bother get this one. Actually, I might as well get it out of the case because we'll need the extension port. I was going to be even lazier and just leave it in the case, but we should take it out of the case at least so we can get the extension port off. So with them out, this will come out. This is the screen stuck in. It's just basically stuck from a bit of stickiness, basically from time. It's not held in by anything specific. All this we just bin. We make our own shells and we always replace them. The screen we can keep. I might as well show you this technique as well. I showed it off a good while ago. If you want to remove the screen safely, people said originally you couldn't do this. So I've come up with a technique to best remove screens safely. If you wanted to reuse these screens, we don't reuse them now, we use clean screens. Yeah, there's TikTok banning us again, so I don't know what to do about TikTok. It just constantly says we're redirecting people off the platform, so we just don't seem to be able to stay live on TikTok. It just blocks it now, so the 9 people that are in are the only people that are going to see this because they won't be promoting it now. I'm just going to have to reach out once more to the account manager at TikTok and ask them what the hell's going on with the account. I hid everything on the vertical overlay, so there's no other logos, there's no branding, all that kind of stuff, and they still keep banning us. It's crazy. It's a shame because we're getting 500 plus people on TikTok at one point. Yeah, this is probably why we didn't sell this one. Look at the state of it. Absolutely corroded. So if you want to remove the screen, all you need to do, we've got to desolder these pins. And then the other side here is tape. So all we do, flip it over this way, make an S shape like this, and then put something weighted down to hold it. And this is basically making a bit of tension here. So you imagine if this wasn't soldered now, the tension on here wants to fling this off, as you'll see. So if we leave that there, get the hotter, and you'll see this will naturally just ping off under pressure, basically. Yeah, I can't open and close the live on Streamlabs for it, and it doesn't really matter because I must have done now 20 TikToks in a row where within 5-10 minutes we get 100 viewers. It doesn't update on stream and then it blocks us. So I don't know what they've got against stopping people actually making decent content for the platform, but just literally making decent content for the platform, but it just looks like it's not going to be worth doing TikTok at all, unfortunately. Even though I've got like 50-60,000 followers on there, it's just a bit of a shit platform now, it seems. So that's how you remove them anyway. I'm not going to use this, but if you wanted to remove them safely, that's how you get them off. Did the stream crap out? Shouldn't have. Let me see if I can pull it up on Twitch. I presume it's back now that you've commented. Yeah, it's showing live for me, so maybe just locally for you there. What's the reference to your PCB holder? These are they're basically what's the make? Walla? Is it Walla? Yeah, you can get the Walla ones, but you can also find them, if you're lucky, you can find them a bit cheaper I think I got mine for like 60, 70 quid. Or is it Handtech? No, I think, not Handtech, sorry. Hacko, I think, are the ones that do them, actually. Yeah, there we go. Hacko Omnivice, they're called. 66 quid off Amazon. So I might as well post it in chat, considering TikTok's the only one that gives a shit. So that's the link to these things, basically. Also got it just froze for 10 seconds. Maybe it glitched out for something. But yeah, should be good. Internet should be pretty solid as well. Right, what were we doing? So that's off. I want to take the extension port off now. And then we can take the ASIC off, I think. That's the order. I don't know why I've just put that stand away. We need it for the extension port. There we go. Hey, thanks for the sub. Getting a nice few subs now. Are you vacuuming it? Vacuuming. What am I vacuuming? Might be the lost in translation there, maybe. There we go. Nice and easy. Now let me turn that down to 400 before I forget. Otherwise I'll be taking off the ASIC way too hot. The tool you're using just now, what's it for? So this, it's a hot air gun, basically. So this blows really hot air. Well, you can control the temperature, but this is blowing, that was blowing 480 degrees Celsius. So basically warming up the solder, melting it, and then you can pull it off. So hold the board with this, so I can keep it off the ground, basically. And then I'm hot airing the solder on here. So all this metal stuff. So this is where all the pins were held in. And there's the chip I just took off. Well, the extension port. This is what you plug the extension port connector into. And those pins that you see there, those little legs, they all go through these holes. So basically, warm it up so all the solder melts and goes liquidous, and then pull it through. And that's just how I remove them. There's loads of different techniques, but that's the way I get these off. Right, so put that aside. We're done with the holder now. We need a screwdriver, and we will move that up to there a bit. There we go. We'll now take the ASIC off, the original, and let's hope this one works. Yeah, I hope TikTok sorted. Like I say, I've built TikTok over like 5 years. It's such a shame. It's like literally the biggest platform. I mean, luckily the YouTube and Twitch are growing now, but I've got a huge audience on TikTok, and I was getting literally 500 plus viewers, and now they're just every single stream. Oh, blocked for selling, blocked for whatever. It's just within 2 minutes of the stream going, you literally see 100 people join, and then it boots it straight off. So I've got an account manager. I've got a blue tick on there. So I'll just try and message them tomorrow and say, come on, this is like, you know, a bit ridiculous. Just can't seem to get the stream to stay live. Thanks for the cheers. Right, let's put some flux on this. And this will just help to clean the pins as it's coming off. We'll need the little suction tool, so we lift this off without bending any of the legs. Got the hot air set to 400 Celsius, so a bit lower this time, and 80% airspeed, and we'll just go around this chip, warming it up a little bit. I'm not bothered about melting the cartridge connector and the light and stuff. I'm not reusing this board, so you'll see this little connector at the bottom left get melted, but we don't care, we're not using it, so no point trying to protect it. You can see the plastic on the crystal just bowing out there as well, that little bit there. But again, I'm not reusing any of those components, I just want this ASIC, so that's all we care about getting off. Probably put my fume extractor on a bit, smoky now as well. I reckon another 5 seconds and this should lift. There we go. That's now off. I'm going to flip him upside down, put him out of the way. We can now bin this board. We don't need this board. I've got everything off it that I need. And we will bring this chip in. I'm going to clean the chip as well while it's hot. So we'll leave it upside down. And what we're going to do as well, a little trick here, we're going to, well actually, this looks like the solder's flown underneath already. See how the legs have all joined and reflowed. I was going to reflow the bottom of this chip, but I think the flux has kind of helped all them pins reflow because solder's clearly bridged at the bottom. So I think this one should be good to just drop down. I'm not going to bother cleaning up them joins. See all the legs, how the solder's joined. I'll just leave that as extra and it'll flow back down to the legs. And then it should go on okay, hopefully. Is it ever worth saving some of the other chips? It is, yeah. I've got, the reason I'm not getting the, well, there's no Z80 on the 1A6 because it's built into the chip. So that's built in. The video RAM and the work RAM, I've already got new old stock from factory on these boards. So these are not used, they were never put on a board. They're just old stock sitting in factories. So these are basically like new, if you will. So I don't bother salvaging them because these ones are heavily used and I've got them. I've got, you know, literally thousands of them from the factory. And then Z80s. I also hoarded from the factory, so literally Z80s galore, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Again, new old stock or repurposed stock by the looks of it because they've re-silk screened them, but that's probably just for visual aesthetics basically. So I've got tons of them, so I don't bother salvaging them myself. But obviously, if you don't have that supply, then yeah, I'd recommend, you know, taking them off the board and keeping them. Hey, welcome in on chat. We're just doing the game I couldn't be bothered to do earlier because I did one and then just couldn't be bothered to do the other, but it needs to get done. So we'll get this chucked down. Let me just check as well. One thing I haven't checked is the Facebook Live run. Yeah, Facebook must be running because we've got 15 viewers on it, but the chat isn't pulling through, I don't think. So, let's see. Oh, yes, just because no one's commented on Facebook, so the chat probably does work. What's the stream like for you guys? Is it all stable at the minute and working as it should, behaving? I forgot to put my fume extractor on. So we're just going to pre-tin all these legs. So see how it's got gold on at the minute? That's because there's no solder. That's basically the copper of the PCB coated in gold. Well, nickel and then gold. And we're just going to put some solder onto these pins, ready to put the chip down. And then these bottom two always want to join at the bottom there because they are actually joined on the PCB. So how those bottom two there always want to stick together, it's because they're actually joined on the board. So it's not really a problem that they are joined. I'll normally get it off at the end, but they are actually they're the same pin underneath. They're both ground, basically. Plenty of flux on this. Get some nice round pads. And then, we've got that much chat, I can't see what I'm doing now. It seems fine on Twitch. Thanks for the tip the other day, Luke, you nailed it. Was the SMS pin. Cool, nice one. Oh yeah, the new cameras are sick. I still like, it seems dead vain, but just the sharpness of that image is mad. Like, I don't exactly like looking at myself, but I love just the clarity of the image. That's why I want to get this side angle working. You know, this one now just looks so shit. Like, that's just not good, basically, compared to the others. So I'm definitely upgrading that tomorrow when the camera comes. So the stream, if I get a stream out tomorrow, then well, this one doesn't want to flow. If I get a stream out tomorrow, you'll see hopefully that camera improve as well. I think we're good to clean up and put the chip down. So see how that bottom two pins I mentioned just don't want to clear up. I'm going to leave them on because they are literally the same pin. So it's not going to do any harm. Everything else seems to be nicely sorted with solder. What's your favourite retro console? Depends on what I want to play and if it's handheld or not. The handheld, really, the only handheld I play is Game Boys. I play, personally, at the minute I play the Pocket Light. So it's the Japanese Pocket with an actual electroluminescent backlight. And then I've got a Game Boy Advance for playing the Pokemon games, like all the other Pokemon games. That's the only handheld really I play. But then desktop, there's quite a few. I play the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil. Absolutely love that game. I've played it countless times. I've replayed Resi 1, 2 last year, and I'm in the process of doing the Resident Evil 2 remake on the ROG Ally. Love that. Xbox original for Halo, another good one. One I always forget, but the N64, just for Zelda, Ocarina of Time really is my main one I'd think of if I thought of N64. But I'd say, obviously, my favourite handheld is definitely the Game Boy. Favourite desktop, I'd say it's always a... my initial thoughts is always a fight between PlayStation 1 and Xbox original. Two different eras in my life, so I played, obviously, the Xbox when I was a bit older, and that was like online with Unreal Tournament, and playing Halo. Halo was a massive part of me gaming, and Gunmetal as well. But I'd say Resident Evil's pretty big up there for making the PlayStation, probably. I don't know. If you took away Resident Evil from the PlayStation, then, to be honest, I think there was a lot more games for the Xbox. Yeah, it sounds like we've got a little bit of issue with the stream. A couple of people keep mentioning it either dropping or going slow. It shouldn't be. There's no real reason why. I streamed earlier fine, so maybe it just comes and goes for people, or maybe the internet's a bit dodgy with it being later on, or maybe the kids are downloading bloody a Call of Duty update or something. Clear on TikTok, super clean cam, no lag. Yeah, so obviously I can't do much about the stream, but let me know if it how it is, just so I know if it's stable or not. But yeah, it's all a pretty solid setup, so I can only presume it's either their servers or just a bit of lag on my internet causing it to dip in and out. So this looks like it's lined up enough. I've done six in a row before Christmas of these. Every one worked. I did one earlier on stream and that worked first time, so I still don't feel confident in these one ASIC yet. I still subconsciously, because when I was getting used to them when I first made this board, I was confident with the two ASICs I can do them with my eyes shut, and then I went on to the one ASICs and I literally could not get them to flow down good. I've still got that in my head at the minute. I don't think I've built enough. Probably only built 40 of these now, 40, 50 of them. And even though the last, 7 in a row have been perfect, I still feel like this isn't going to work. You know, I need to build the confidence a bit with just seeing more of them work. But hopefully this one will go down and treat as well and work. Never have too much flux on these either, with them being fine pins. And then we're probably going to have to clear up them shorts that we left on the pins. yeah. The killing VDPs didn't bother me though, because it felt good. It didn't feel like I was making a mistake. Everything flowed right. The solder looked ace. And I was in happy denial until I proved myself wrong. Whereas these, I was the opposite. I was nice and confident, soldering down like a pro, and then nothing was working. Like no pins were soldered down, and I'd changed the hot air, if you remember as well. I'd just changed this hot air station at the same time, changed the flux at the same time. So I did a load of things I probably shouldn't have done when I was effectively practicing on a new chip, getting the process down. I decided to change all my equipment at the same time: flux, solder, hot air station. So that was like a big mistake. I think that's had enough heat. So one more round of flux, because this looks dog shit, as I'd expected this time. But that'll just be mainly all them pre-bridge pins down here that we'll just have to usually just tack on to get them to go. So if we look at zooming in nice and close, see all these bridges here. So you just normally tack on or drag and see all of them moving out the way, and then you just got that last little bit at the end, which if you clean your soldering iron tip, touch on a few times and drag off, you'll normally just pull the solder away. So looks bad, but isn't actually hard to get off. So same down that side. Oh, I've just melted the fume extractor lid. That looks okay. This top piece, probably the same idea. I've got a few bridge pins, so I'm just going to run down all of it, just to group all of them at the end normally, like so. So now there's only bridges at the end, and then same idea, touch on, clean the iron tip, touch on, clean the iron tip. Let's clean them. And then same down this side, it looks And those bridges were already on before we put the chip down. We kind of saw them and I purposely left them on. It was better to have extra solder, in my eyes, than it was having not enough solder. I prefer to have the extra solder, make sure these pins go down, and then clear them off at the end. And just bear in mind these bottom two are joined, so we're not gonna get the bridge off the last two pins because they are physically joined together. So sometimes it might be worth dragging up out the way of that pin because obviously there's a bridge already there. And that I think looks okay. Let's clean that up. Right. And then we'll take a look at this under the microscope in a second. But that looks, from a glance at the minute, that looks all right. So let's just catch up on chat a minute. How's that stream running for the, unless the user's now dropped off, the one that said it was running like 2 frames a second, is that stabilized for you now, or I guess if it hasn't, you've probably dropped off. That was on YouTube, I believe. And it looks like it was a sub as well, so hopefully it's sort of fixed itself up. Am I using low temp solder? No, just normal. Well, yes and no. It's leaded solder, so lower temp than lead free, but it's not low temp solder. No, it's just leaded solder. Hello from New Zealand. Yeah, welcome in. Sorry, I've had my head down when the messages come in. Am I using leaded solder? Yes, I am. Yesterday, soldered new caps on the Game Gear. As shown in your video, I only need those 110 nanofarad microfarad they'll be. So would it be a problem to use only 100 nanofarad caps? Probably have to clarify that. You use tens or hundreds and ones microfarads, not nanofarads. But generally, the Game Gear, all the caps are. Well, this isn't the Game Gear. Let's grab another one. There's not very many critical caps on this board, so let me zoom out. Get this thing out of the way. So we've got this is just what's called a bulk capacitor. So bulk capacitors just add storage locally to the locations they're at, so you don't get voltage drops. This is a general board bulk cap and a bit for the backlight. So this can be 100 or more, or even slightly less. You've got these 6 are mostly involved in generating the backlight circuit, so the contrast circuit. So they want to be, again, not that critical, but these are the 1 microfarads. You can do 1 microfarad, you can do 4 microfarad. Doesn't change much, it's just generating a negative voltage pulse. These can be 100s or 10s, doesn't matter. This one, there's normally one here, so this is just a bulk capacitor for the RAM. So again, it can be 10, 50, 100, makes no difference. It's just to stabilize the RAM. And then over here, they're all bulk. So the caps on this really aren't that critical. Don't overthink it. It's not that often on many systems, they're not that critical, but yeah, on the Game Gear, they really aren't. No, they're not that important. You can see the RePCB. Tell me where the bulk caps are. There's literally, the RAM's got a 10 and a 1, a 10 and a 1, 100 for the main ASIC, and then that's it. There's nothing. It doesn't need it. It's a very simple board, low power board. It draws 70 milliamps. It does not need all them caps. But obviously, unless you design circuit boards and you know what you're doing, you'll get people trying to tell you you're wrong or you don't know what you're doing. But if you're making, like I literally make hardware, I've made it for over a decade now. Stuff like the caps really isn't, you don't just have to follow what's there. If you know exactly what they're used for and why they're there, you can make your own choices. But so many people online think they know what they're doing and comment shit, basically. Hey, big bro, welcome back in. Yeah, I couldn't rest. I went and sat down, had tea, watched a bit of TV and just kept thinking about how much work I'm going to have to do in the morning if I don't finish this off. All good now, phone issues, cool. Yeah, I think people have been having issues with the stream, though. I think there is a bit of up and downy on it. But I think it seems stable at the minute for everybody now. Ordered some Flux off the US side. Are they currently available? They are not shipped yet. We've got them, so we listed them because people wanted them. We ordered them. It's a UK company, so I'll message them today because they reopen tomorrow. Similar to us, like the pack inside reopens tomorrow, so they should ship them tomorrow. We get them Tuesday. They'll ship to the US on Thursday or Wednesday, depending on when we ship the order. It only takes 2 days to get to the US, so next Monday is when your order should ship, but it won't ship much quicker than ordering from us because we don't currently have it either. We ordered it before Christmas, but they shut down for the Christmas period as well. Yeah, he didn't play enough with Rusty. Did you see the video on Elite Members as well? I posted in there. He realised there was mashed potato above the counter because I picked him up, and then when I put him down, that was it. Went crazy, just stood at the counter growling. He wanted it, and to be honest, he was still there when I come in here. I literally fed him some mashed potato right before coming back on stream because he wouldn't leave it alone. Right, we should probably test this. I'm getting a bit too confident, so let's get microscope, I guess. This microscope feed should be fixed now. And yeah, there we go. So we are checking. Get the lighting right. Checking the pins. Right, so that's clear for my eye. And that's now clear for your eye. So, quick check on these pins. And the more I do these and see that they're not floating, I'll start building my confidence up with them, because I still feel like all these are going to ping off when I touch them. But like I say, I've now done, this will be the 8th one in a row with not a single problem if it works. So fingers crossed, and then eventually, I think if I've done 15, maybe 20 in a row, I'll start relaxing a bit on the, when I do the 2 ASICs, you don't even see me check the pins. I just go, yeah, that looks good. And I'm confident I can tell, the process. I'm used to it, whereas the 1 ASICs, I just haven't done enough of them yet to feel confident. But these are going down well. I think the biggest hurdle there was clearly me doubting myself, because all I've done is put the temps back to what I'd expect to do, not be fearful of the hot air, reflow it, just treat it like as if I can already do it. So basically self-confidence, I think, is the key to this one, which I don't normally struggle with. I'm normally fairly self-confident with what I do, but I won't lie, doing the first few ones of these, and I'm just completely going tits up. I mean, it didn't help that the first ones of these I tried to do, we used lead-free solder, because I wanted to see if we could use lead-free solder. Don't know why, I just wanted to do it. And that was horrendous as well. So, yeah, quite a few reasons why I probably have a bit of doubt with these ones. Let's get zoomed in a bit on this one. So that one's slightly like off-centered, but they're soldered. Wow, it's got a lot of dust and crap on here. Yeah, the key is the soldered well. Just an ever so slight shift. But yeah, these are, I mean, the new Flux is probably helping a lot as well, because we've got the Solder King Flux. I think that is helping. Again, just all points to having the right tools and temperatures is really the key to what makes this work. So yeah, every single pin perfect again. Not a single problem. If anything, like I say, it's taught me that the importance, I guess, of if you don't have the right tools, how difficult a job can be, and how much it can affect your confidence as well. Whereas that's now, I'm starting to feel a little bit more like I can solder these on better. Right, so I guess we should see if this works. So we'll leave the screen off a minute. Get this, an audio chip. Oh yeah, I don't know whether you know this, Big Bro, because you're definitely the Twitch expert. I'm not. Somebody asked why the VODs aren't saving on Twitch, and I'm sure there's no way of doing that. Like they just show for a few days and then go, don't they? And I thought that was just literally what Twitch does. So maybe that's not even working. But I presume the VODs are showing on Twitch. Maybe it's because I've got sub-onlys maybe on Twitch. I don't even know, to be honest. But I'm sure they only save for a few days, even at best, on Twitch. And then it's like, can you see on my Twitch if I've literally limited it to sub-onlys, which might answer why they think there's no VODs there, because I've purposely got them set to sub-onlys, maybe. I don't know. And are we going to hear Sonic? Hopefully we will. Or, ooh, I was about to say it's going to let us down. Right, so that's like, what, 8 in a row now? First time. That delay, though, that TMSS delay, makes me think it's not working every time. I'm that used to the delay on 2 ASICs that's basically non-existent, that I think it's not loaded if I haven't heard Sonic straight away. 28 days or something, we'll have to check as you change it. Yeah, I think it was, I've got a feeling it was only like 7 days on the account. But I can have a login in a second. See if we see that. I presume the screen's going to work. No screen. Oh, just haven't booted. Dirty power supply. There we go. Yep, so that's all good. Affiliates 14 days, perhaps Turbo and Primes can get 60. Yeah, let's jump on and have a look, shall we? Twitch. Is there anything in Twitch I shouldn't kind of show on stream? I guess if I'm logged in, I don't think there'll be anything. On the creator dashboard, I can't show off. Where and how do I do screen capture on this? That one. There we go. Scream at me if I shouldn't be showing you something on here, by the way. If not, you can do something. You can maybe get more viewers on Twitch for me. What did we come on for? Settings. How do I find out if I've limited the VODs to subs only? I literally do not use Twitch yet at all. Stream settings, maybe. Primary key hidden, good. VOD settings, here we go, maybe. Store path, yeah, so it's turned on. Always publish VODs, stream rewind, exclude categories. So, search, I don't know. It's on. It's just, where do you see the limit for, like, you know, did I limit it to subs, basically, is the only thing. But yeah, they seem to be turned on. So I reckon that's working. Yeah, there, 7 days. But YouTube store them anyway, permanently. So that works. Hey, welcome in from Algeria. Yeah, so I don't think I can check that anyway off stream. That's no issue if we need to. But yeah, the VODs look like they're working at least. Right then, so we've got this one working. You can see Sonic's nice and working. That wasn't too bad. I might as well do another one. We've only been streaming for like 50 minutes. Shall we build another one? Go for Game Gear 9. Oh, I need to do the little signing of the ASIC so people can't potentially scam us, and also we can know for warranty when they were made. And I do try to stream most of these builds as well, just so people can see the quality of the work for one. I can look back if I've made mistakes as well, because we sell these pre-assembled. So I think it's good to show, you know, your work, that you've done it good, so customers can have faith in your work, basically. So I will sign down here. And that just makes it a bit harder for anybody to say they've had one off as if they haven't. This is 04 01. Yep, so 4th of the 1st, 26. And then I've done 2 today, so it won't really matter. There's only a few, and my guess will be that the serial number here and the date will rarely match. It's so unlikely that I'm going to build that many Game Gears on one day that we're going to get the same date and a different serial number. So it should be easy to backtrack and find. So this will need the wires on, an extension port, but I tend to leave that to Zach to finish off, basically. So this can go over to his desk, and then I'll jump on another one. I think I've only got one left here. If I've even got one here. Yeah, I've got one. Only affiliates and partners can set VODs to subs. Oh yeah, so they must just be working. Maybe just they're like me and they don't even know how Twitch works, maybe. And then what next? Same again, basically, isn't it? So get them off. Thanks for the sub, Mark. I've just noticed that one come in. Love your channel. Thanks very much. Glad you're liking it. Looks like we're getting a few more views as now I've started doing the streams again. I pretty much didn't stream much over Christmas. It wasn't that I was being lazy. I was just too busy on everything else. So kind of didn't get time to do the streams. But I think the key is if you're not doing them regular, you just drop off straight away on the views. Whereas because I've literally just done 2 in a row, it's already starting to get pushed again, which is nice. Stream Rewind's a good option to have, yeah. Did I not turn that on? Yeah, Stream Rewind's on as well. We need to do that thing, don't we, as well? 90 somethings 90 summit streams on Twitch to be able to then limit it to like the sub-only streams 2 subs, because at the minute the sub-only streams go out to everybody on Twitch. Well, I can even see like when I get bits of flaky skin in my eyebrows. The camera's way too clear. Can't believe I just missed out on an Archimedes mouse. 3-button mouse for that machine went over 65 man. Yeah, no way. I've got an I think it's an Amstrad 646. I can't even remember 464, 646. One of them. Somebody wants me to do one of them up. I said I would. I know I keep saying I don't take on all the other work, but for some reason I still can't resist CPC. Yeah, so I've got one of them coming in when I accept it. I need to catch up on some work. And what's that black thing in the camera? Is that my scope? Oh yeah, it's a scope. I was like, what's blurry at the bottom? Yeah, I've got one of them coming in for some maintenance work. This one looks a bit nasty. Check this out. I don't know whether I want to spoil the streak by attempting this one. Yeah, that's going to ruin my streak, isn't it? We've got 1, 2, 3 bodge wires. We've got some, I hope that's Flux. Got some shit all over the board. Yeah, somebody didn't clean the Flux up working on this. It's one of us, so we've only got ourselves to blame. This is definitely an ammo wire we use. Wow, this has been, yeah, this one's had some serious work done and some bad luck. Let's leave him for now. Let's pick another one. I told you these were the boards that weren't good enough to sell. That's got 1 bodge wire. He looks good enough. Let's give him a go. Yeah, I think this one will do. Right, so same again. We want the extension port off and the ASIC off. It looks like mold, yeah. In fairness, it's been sat in my garage for probably 2 years. This is the, like I say, all the boards that we get. I've got hundreds of them where they're just not good enough for selling to customers, even if we repaired them. So some of them just, they look too nasty or they've got too many problems that really you don't want to sell them and warranty them because you know the condition of the boards. Whereas these are all just board issues generally, whereas the ASICs are good. So we can now I've pretty much managed to repurpose and reuse every single Game Gear. Now this is the last tub of Game Gears, and I've made use of all of them then. Just bought an i7 Ultra Cool. Nice. I literally was running, I think it was the i7 I brought, but I was unlucky after I brought the 70, no, I can't remember the name of it, 4900 something K, the one that's had all the issues with the overvoltage, like a £700 CPU, died on me after a few months and they replaced it. And I've also got a couple of spare CPUs, because I've upgraded the CPU in the computer a few times. So if anybody needs CPUs or RAM, probably just drop me a message on Discord or DM somewhere, because they're just sitting in my server and gathering dust, and they're just gonna keep devaluing more and more. So I can do you a nice good deal on spare RAM and CPUs, and they're pretty new. They're not, you know, too outdated, and they're pretty high spec, so should still be usable. Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, we're already, 4 days into it already. Yeah, it's extension port out the way. So now we need the ASIC off. And what I'll probably do actually is prep the whiteboard first, because when I take the ASIC off, I want it to stay nice and warm when we're putting it back down, just to actually do a... No, I probably want the other way around. I probably want the ASIC to cool off in between. Saying that, you don't want to put extra heat on the chip if you can help it. That overhead light still needs tilting a little bit, I think. Or the camera does, one or the other. Getting a little bit of glare from the overhead light. And here we go again. Yeah, I think memory prices are going through the roof at the minute as well. Oh, my little tool's got, it's like a mouse has been nibbling at it. It's missing part of it. I learned BASIC on the Amstrad. Nice. It was I actually learned BASIC from Visual Basic on PC, so not quite the same thing, but I never did BASIC on the older computers. It was literally a Windows PC and programming I got into. I didn't really do much Visual Basic. I went straight to C, and then C#, and C, then C++. Flash Action Script, as it was called back then. Was that? Wow, that's how long ago it's been. Who made the? Was it Adobe? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Adobe Flash. I used to do games in that. I used to program games and all sorts when I was a kid. Like when I was in high school, I spent most of my time making games in the classes instead of doing what they told me. Oh yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. He does come in here and he bashes. He bashes anything I leave on the floor now. If it makes a noise, he'll come in and whack it because it makes a noise, so he gets attention. There's a little sod. But I need to get some carpet or rug in here because he slips everywhere with his nails. Macromedia, of course, that was it. Wow. Yeah, Macromedia Flash player. Flash 4 and 5, I think it was, when I was using it. Used to make like Stickmen games. Made like a little rocket game where you were basically a spaceship at the bottom and you just flew up and avoided stuff. But yeah, it was one of the first programming languages, in a sense, that I used when I was young. Used to make websites in it as well, but that was obviously, that's not a thing anymore. And then, funnily enough, one of the good things is I actually learned Fortran. Is it Fortran? It's been years since then, but I had quite a few people. I used to work, obviously, I worked when I was fairly young and I was into programming before I had any real job, and I was too young to have a job. So I used to come across people, obviously a lot older than me. And I went one place where they had some old machines. I can't think what they were now, but they were programming in Fortran. And it's so old and outdated now that most people have never even heard of that. So it's one of them things where sometimes people try and say, "Oh, I bet you don't know this language," or "I bet you've never heard of this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've actually used that as well." But I think my main language for nearly everything is C, C++, C#. Not much you can't do in them. Whether it's hardware, software, web development, you're pretty much one of the most useful languages, and yet probably I don't think it's even the most popular. Things like Python and all the other languages that I don't see a need for are way more popular. I think for the simplicity and the ease is why they're popular. Python's really good for pre-made libraries, basically for doing tasks nice and quick and plotting graphs and things like that. Super easy. But I'd never build anything serious in Python. I'd never build like, full applications. Just wouldn't even dream of it. And I think that's all good. I think they always look a little bit, not very roundy there, but when we're finished they do. So I won't worry about it too much. Oh yeah, and I did actually make, in what age you start doing this? I mean, repairing all the CPUs. I think I've been doing retro now for, I bet it's coming up to 6 or 7 years, maybe. I don't even keep track. It's at least 5 years. I think I've been doing it a little bit longer than that. Yeah, I've been doing the hardware stuff on and off for about 15 years. So I used to make some stuff for Xbox controllers. The Arbiter chip, rapid fire chips, like Call of Duty, running in a room, tapping LT, and it would like aim down scope, drop, double barrel shotgun, swap to a Magnum and send another shot off, all by just tapping LT. Had loads of features. So that was kind of my first major kind of, I guess first sellable hardware that I'd done. And that was I think that was 15 years ago now. It doesn't feel like it, but I think it was. We're going to do similar to this one. It's got some shorted pins, but I'm not going to bother fixing them. I'm just going to leave the solder on. I'm going to zoom nice and close on this one. Let's tack these legs down. So this seems to work good, this little technique. Just get the corner, get it tacked in. Ooh, got shaky hands. Going all over the place. Okay, let's go up to this corner. That's miles off for the minute. Yeah, that's way off. I'm going to have to loosen that corner at the bottom. Get this in. Wow, this is not going to plan. Do this nice and easy the first few times. I can't really see this corner as well. The flux is getting in my way. There we go. So that's now roughly tacked there. And this should now line up easier up here. Yeah, it's not quite. Still needs to go up slightly. I shouldn't have done two corners because now they're kind of holding it in place. There we go. And the reason you have to get this one so accurate is it doesn't tend to like moving. It doesn't kind of pull into place. Normally surface tension pulls that into place. Whereas on the one ASIC, we found it doesn't really pull into place. You have to align it as accurate as possible the first time. Otherwise, you just end up trying to nudge it and things. So that's why we're doing that. Big fan, been watching your lives. I love your voice. Yeah, thanks very much. Most people don't like it. Stokey accents. When I hear any Stokey on TV or anything, I don't think you hear it in your own voice, but then when you hear somebody else on TV, I think it just sounds so rough. Like if I hear myself back on, I don't know, I'm kind of used to my own voice now with having to edit videos all the time. But then if I hear anybody else's voice, any Stokey, I'm like, oh, do we sound like that? It just, I personally don't think the accent sounds very nice, but some people do like the accent. But like I say, you don't hear it when you just talk to people or you talk. You don't hear it. It's mainly when you hear episodes on TV of things with Stokeys against other accents is when it stands out, I think. Pi Gamer. That's cool for building small. I've never heard of that. I've seen this thing that keeps popping up on, I think it's TikTok as well. The what's it called? Pixel Lab. Oh, that looks so cool for making like pixel sprites and stuff. It looks absolutely amazing. Because I've used a sprite. I was going to make a Game Boy game. I started making one, obviously, with Rusty in. And then I didn't, just because, again, as usual, the scene for Game Boy was toxic and the people that were involved in releasing games were just not nice people. So I didn't bother finishing it off. I probably will at some point. But yeah, I started using a sprite for making like sprites. But then when I've seen this Pixel Lab thing, it genuinely looks impressive. You've got a Stokey watching. I think mainly I think Facebook and TikTok push locally, so you find that you'll get a lot of Facebook and TikTok viewers are local. It seems to push well, whereas YouTube and Twitch seem to push more like all over the world and America and stuff, basically. My favourite accent though is South African. Absolutely love that accent. I don't know why, just really nice. Really like that accent. Yeah, Manchester and Liverpool. Manchester I don't really hear. You know how some people they say they don't like the Manchester accent. I actually don't generally hear a Manchester accent. Liverpool, I'm not a fan of the accent. I don't think many people are. I think Liverpool's quite a distinctive, known for being something people either love or hate, isn't it? Some people love the accent. I'm not a fan of it though. I have an MVS that switch 6 and 7 are flicking on and off. Trying to think what that might be. You've obviously eliminated the obvious that it's not the actual buttons, I presume. Not the physical buttons, and you've measured voltage that are not flicking. If so, you could try. I'd have to pull up the schematic, to be honest. I'll probably be able to tell you from looking at the schematic the most likely causes. Right, we've got the same again. A load of bridge pins down here. I'm just going to run down while it's warm. But we clear the tip off. Run down while it's warm. Not even really looking at the screen or zoomed in right now. Just going off feel. Waiting to get that back on. Still smoky. And then we've got the same down here. It looks like we've got a few pins there. Same over this side, yeah. So this has got plenty of pins all grouping together. And you want to try and do these while it's warm, because the warmer it is, the quicker you'll get these joins off. Please zoom in nice and close on that so I can actually see what I'm doing. So again, just tap on and clean off. Those 3 pins are meant to be joined. Those all look clean now. Those top 2 are meant to be joined, which they are. So yeah, I think that looks good. Right then, so we'll just clean this off. And what do you reckon? Not bother checking the pins. This will be the kiss of death. I think visually, just from a distance, that looks okay. So I think we should be good to, I think, just go for that. I've got to build the confidence at some point to say it looks like it's good. And I reckon now is probably the best time than any. I got the cap kit for the Game Gear. Values are different to other kits. Yeah, they will be. I've made the first SMD kit for the Game Gear. Caused a lot of controversy because people were like, "Oh, the values don't match." They won't. They don't need to. I think I just explained it at the start of the stream. But if you know what you're doing and you make hardware, you don't need to just follow. Oh, the caps are on there. That's what it is. Basically. If you look at this board, so probably go to a top-down view to be honest, the Game Gear has, say for example, 100 microfarad up here. This is just a bulk capacitance that just stores energy to stop voltage dropping. The value is not critical in any way, and it's massively over-engineered. It's a 70 milliamp power draw. This is the backlight circuit. So this will be the bulk cap for generating the high voltage for the backlight tube. Some of these are for the contrast circuits, these 1 microfarads, again, not even critical, just low value because it's just to generate a negative pulse, a positive and negative pulse of 20 volts for the contrast of the LCD pins. These are, again, part of generating that circuit, so none of these are that critical. These are just bulk capacitance for the RAM. Again, there's way too much here, so not critical. And then everything over here is bulk capacitance. So basically the kit makes it easier than having loads of different values for no reason, adds the correct bulk capacitance. And obviously, when you know what you're doing, you can remake a board like this, and you can see 100 there, 10-1, 10-1, nothing else. And this board works cleaner and more flawless than the original board. So basically, that's why our kits are different. I don't just like pick random caps like people try to say that also happen to sell other kits. They'll try and make out like, oh yeah, you're just picking random kit values and you don't know what you're doing. That's just not how it works. That's why I haven't released cap kits for loads of consoles yet, because I don't release them until I've tested them myself. So that's why. Otherwise, I'd have hundreds of cap kits by now. They're one of our best sellers. I release cap kits when I get time, and I test all the circuits with oscilloscopes, make sure what's going on. And then, yeah, the end product is you get a kit with cap values in that people can just easily clone. But I've spent the time doing all that, basically. What camera this is? This is a Blackmagic Studio with just a normal. I think it's a Sigma lens in that one. The one above, again, Blackmagic. So this one is a Blackmagic with a Cine lens in. So a cinema lens, very, very expensive glass. This one is about to be, so this side one here is about to be another Blackmagic. But for now, it's an OBS-bot. So if I zoom out, I can kind of show you. So there, well, I could show you, but as per usual, this camera that can't show anything over there, you can kind of see the camera there. This is the face camera. It's a Blackmagic Studio. That was the old one. This is the old face cam that now I can sell, a little OBS-bot. And then up here, you can see there's another Blackmagic. So that's like a Blackmagic 6K. This is a Canon cinema lens with my hand soldered in bodge wires here that come down to the shelf down here. So I've got, if you can see maybe, probably can't, no you can't see, there's my little switch. See if I can zoom in. This is a little switch here that I can just click to zoom in and out the lens. And then this here, I've moved out the way. This is a focus. So when I turn this and we go to, say, the overhead, this is me pulling focus when I turn it left and right. So I've got control of that manual lens, basically. And then, yeah, this side one is not that good. That's why it's good, but I can move around. This is like the benefit of this is being able to sort of move the lens around. But as I said, I don't use it enough that I think the quality of this compared to like this, for example, is not even close. So I'm going to change the side camera to the Blackmagic. I could still keep this movable camera. We could use it as like just a bit of B-roll, or if we need to focus on something, I could have that still connected. It doesn't matter. I can have an extra camera. But I think the fixed side camera, so when I go to like this view, I want this to be Blackmagic and nice, and then we'll probably just have this current one as a floating camera potentially. That's what I'm thinking. Have you had blue screen before with IPS? Mine was working, then suddenly blue screen. Are we talking Game Gear? If so, blue screen, not necessarily indicative of a failure. Some Game Gears, normally the 2 ASICs, they can just generate a random coloured screen when they boot, and that's the Z80. It's basically the Z80 that's driving the initial VRAM data. It can just output a solid colour screen because nothing initializes. So it could be normal that the game's just not loading, and it could be a failed Z80, and it could be anything else. Any course you can learn this, you can sub. So if you sub to Twitch or be a member on YouTube, then go on Discord, the link there, which I might as well put back on. Let me just put it all back on, the overlays on the vertical. I hid all the overlays on vertical because TikTok just kept blocking us, but they're still blocking us anyway, so I might as well put everything back over. Yeah, if you sub to YouTube or Twitch, I do sub-only streams, and that's where I can teach people how to do this if you want to learn it. I've got to drag all these back over now. So yeah, everything I tried to do to stop TikTok blocking my videos didn't work anyway. So let me just move everything back over. If you're just seeing a black screen, I'm just moving chat and stuff back over, basically, if you're wondering what's going on. That's back on, alert box is on, view account now needs to come back over. So people on vertical will see stuff happening. People on horizontal will just be staring at a black screen wondering what's going on for the most part. TikTok logo. I don't know why I moved the TikTok logo off when I was trying to stop TikTok. How wicked I can't move it because it's massive. I'm going to have to make it bigger to be able to drag it to make it smaller. And then put that somewhere up there. And then TikTok viewers last one, and then we can get on with what we were doing. So this now needs to go bigger again, so I can grab him and go smaller. Oh, I think he's a bit small now. Yeah, somewhere like there. View account. There we go. I think that doesn't look too far off. I think that's everything put back on the stream. And then we are back. Yeah, so basically, sub or become a member. I do, yeah, then join the Discord there, and then link your Twitch or YouTube to Discord in the settings, and you'll get invited to an elite members section of Discord. You'll get 10% off the website. You'll get obviously access to the elite members, and I do sub-only streams on, at the minute, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We're currently building a Game Boy original. We're rebuilding the motherboard from scratch, so you learn the hardware as well. So perfect place to do that. Yeah, 2 ASIC, I'd probably then, I'd definitely suspect the Z80, swap the Z80 out. That's what I'd do. Oh, another sub, thank you very much. Blackmagic 6K Pro cameras here. Yeah, they're crazy good. Like, once you go Blackmagic, you can't go back. The thing is as well, this one, I put the Canon, I've got tons of lenses, I don't know if it's still out. I put like a Canon prime lens on, and it's not a cinema lens, but it's I can't even think of the names, the one with the red rings on, the high quality Canon. The output was, I'd say shit, not shit, but for Blackmagic compared to what this is, it was shit. Swapped it to proper cinema glass, so the actual Sigma cinema lens, and was insane. The quality was like 10 times bigger. But obviously then you're talking like this one here's still, well, to be honest, not that expensive, probably about 3,000 or 4,000. The overhead cam's like, the lens is 4 or 5 grand, the camera's 2 grand, the converters. So you can be talking like some of the some of my Cineglass is like 6 grand just for the lens. So yeah, it's mental. But look at the quality. You can't deny the quality is nuts. Like everybody comments on it. And like this, everybody thinks this is like an actual microscope, and it's obviously just a lens above. So it's definitely worth, well, yeah, it's worth the money. It's just a hell of a lot of money. So worth it in one way, but don't spend it if you don't have that kind of money. You can see that it's not, the difference between a £200 OBS isn't that crazily different when it's just for YouTube and streaming. But if you've got the money and you appreciate it, then, go for it. I'd definitely recommend Blackmagic. I've got, like I say, an absolute ton of equipment in the server room to do full like 8K streaming and going through an ATEM and all the switches and Teranax converters and everything. I could make this into like a studio grade system, but it's just the setup time is crazy. Oh, we haven't got a boot. Oh, we are. Every single time I think it's not going to boot. Yeah, the red cameras. I know the main person I noticed that shot with them was MQB HD, wasn't it? I think he was big into red. Haven't somebody just brought red as well? Somebody definitely just brought red, and was it Nikon or might have been Nikon? Somebody's just brought red anyway, and hopefully for the better as well, because red have just never pushed. They could be pushing into way more vertical markets than they currently are. But to be honest, I don't think you can beat Blackmagic. I've never come across anything even remotely close to the quality of Blackmagic cameras. That I like, not even close in any way. And I've got all of them. I've got the Canon high-end cameras. I've had the Sony cameras. I've had the Blackmagic cameras. I've had I can't even remember. But trust me, I've gone through cameras, and once I found the Blackmagic were as good as they were, I spent loads. I had the big Ursa production camera. They are nuts quality. Oh yeah, Blackmagic's used for like full-on film production. The best thing they've ever done really is this pocket camera above. I brought the 4K when it come out, and I've just brought. I think actually the one I've just brought to 4K because I'm downscaling to 1K. So I'm sure the one I just brought was the Pocket 4K, so it's just £1,000 instead of spending like 1.3 on the 6K because it's just been downscaled at the minute. But for £1,000, you can't get anything close. Like there's nothing that comes close to the quality of Blackmagic for the Pocket ones. But you need the glass to go with it. If you don't have good glass, then they're not going to be bad, but they're not going to be what they can be. Oh yeah, DaVinci Resolve. I was rendering a video yesterday for the Angel 6 channel. Let me see if I can pull up the screenshot. I was absolutely flabbergasted. So I've got high-end PCs, like decent £5,000 to £10,000 PCs, and I've always upgraded like the CPUs and RAM, try and get them to render. And I've changed the PC in the games room to a Mac M3 Ultra the other day. And let me show you if I can open this up. So my 14900K was, I think, 90 frames a second rendering. And wait till you see this. This is the M3 Ultra. And it's because it works with Blackmagic as well. So if I pull up this. So this is one of the videos I'm doing for the software. This is DaVinci Resolve. And up the top here, this is the render. 736 frames a second. It got up to 790. And it rendered a 40-minute, I think it was a 40-minute video, 2 minutes 51 when it finished. So remaining 2 minutes 20. I could not believe it. 34-minute video. Like high, and it wasn't just computer screen either. There was this face cam on. Rendered it absolutely insane. Literally didn't even have time to make a coffee in between. So hats off to the Mac M3 on that one. Even though it can't open Ultium through Parallels, it can render like nothing on earth. Absolutely nuts for rendering video. But that's what the, you know, Apple are very good at the video rendering side. It's why they work. If you go on like the Blackmagic website, everything they show off is kind of the Mac stuff on there, basically. Oh yeah, I don't think you can go back once. If you're going to do video production, I'd say definitely go on Macs. Oh yeah, another sub. We've had quite a few on this stream. Definitely got something in my throat though. This room definitely gives me coughs. I don't know what it is. Let me nudge that thing up actually on stream. The TikTok viewers there on the horizontal has decided it's gonna go way too low. There we go. That'll do. Back to there. Right, that's better. Right, I think that's it then. I think that's another. I've done another 2, haven't I? So I've got 1 extra. That's now. What did I do? 6, 7, 8. That's 9 in a row. And that one I didn't even bother checking pins. It just worked and worked well. So getting a bit more confident with them. And hopefully, I think the Flux has made a big difference. I think that's really helped with reflowing these small pins. And then obviously my hot air is now at 400 when I was trying to go lower. I think just because I was killing VDPs at the hot temperature, I think you really need that hot temperature for everything else. Yeah, funnily enough, I've got an M1 MacBook Pro that was just being a paperweight. I got it back out because I do software and I needed to test across Mac, and then I've ended up using that laptop as well. And I never trusted the M stuff. Apple's got it. In my eyes, Apple kind of screwed up the hardware years ago. I used to use them everywhere in my software business. And then when they brought out that stupid butterfly key thing, that put me off that. And then everything else started getting shit. And I was like, well, they're not making anything. So I left Apple stuff, went back to Windows. And then I brought the M series MacBook. And something about it being an Apple chip and the first thing and all the marketing stuff. I'm not one to just be sold by a marketing figure. And I was like, nah, I don't believe it. So it's literally sat at my games room on the floor for a few years. Got it out to properly use. And to be honest, the Mac Silicon, for what it's used for, is actually correct for once. So like what they say and what they market is true. Whereas so much of it's just bullshit. I just do not believe, a lot of stuff is just marketing bullshit. But I am genuinely impressed with the M3 Ultra and the M1. And that's not like me to say. They are genuinely good. So I'm back on Macs in that room. Although I really wish they could actually work with Ultium, because I still need the Windows PC to do hardware design for Ultium, basically. Now this can go on Zach's desk for another one for me. And I will have to go chill for a bit, because I've got to get up early for the crazy day tomorrow now for the normal work. Really interesting how Apple went from IBM to Intel then. But yeah, it's they've had definitely a bunch of different random manufacturers and chips and things. But I think what they're doing, what I've seen so far on the M stuff, I am actually liking. So yeah. Hey, evening, welcome in. Just spotted your message on YouTube. And thanks for another sub. We've got another one. They stopped with NVIDIA. Had a fallout with Apple. Didn't want to listen to it. Oh yeah, I actually remember a bit of that drama. M4 Mini is crazy for the price base. Yeah, I've also got it won't be an M4 though. I've got a Mini that was just running. I just used it for the laser. I got a laser cutter when we were making like stands and things, and that was just running a Mac Mini. Unfortunately, it's in a garage. If you've ever seen the photos of all the stuff I'm flogging randomly, hot air stations and things, there's just a Mac Mini just dumped in the tub with soldering irons on top of it, just abused. So if anyone wants a Mac Mini, I've got a baby one. Probably not going to use, quite old, but good for just general usage. How many cores the M3 Ultra? I got like the 4.2K one. I can pull up what it is. It was me being impatient. Couldn't care less. I wanted the M4. I didn't need the M3, but the M4 was going to take 2 days to get here. And once I set my mind on something I want it there and then that day. I want to go drive and pick it up. So the only thing I could find locally to pick up was the M3 Ultra. So I got, how can it not find it? M3 Ultra Mac Studio then. This one. So I have to manually show the screen on this one in a minute. So I brought this one. I just went and picked up locally. 96 gig of shared RAM, terabyte hard drive, and I don't know what spec they put on the core, 32 core. So that's the spec I'm running. Well, actually, is it, because the memory there says it's the 512? It isn't the 512. It's the 9. I could check it when I'm next in the room. But yeah, if you go on Apple, whatever comes to like 4.2K, that'll be the one I've got. Hide that. But yeah, if it could run Windows Parallels better, I'd be all for it. But because like Altium uses DirectX, Parallels and DirectX trying to run through an ARM 64 processor is software emulation, so you're kind of screwed at that point. M3 Ultra outperforms the M4. Yeah, it does. That spec it does. But unless you were going to do AI models and huge memory dump operations, which I didn't really plan to do, it's just a waste of money. I could have got it for $2,000 if I was going to wait a few days to get it delivered. I just couldn't wait. So yeah, that's that all done. I do actually have, again, I'm a bugger for buying stuff, putting it in a cupboard and then finding it in a server room. So I do actually have an external Thunderbolt. I actually have an external Thunderbolt capture rig with a high-end graphics card in as well. That eGPU stuff. I've got it literally. I'll have to send photos of that server room. There's, again, stupid money dumped in there. It's in a bottom tub. I know where it is, and it's got all the enclosure. Like I say, when I used to use Macs, I've got all the bits and goodies. I should probably plug it in. Mind you, I don't really need it set up now. I was going to say I should probably plug it into that machine. But yeah, I know which you mean for that. It's the one thing I don't like with the M3. Let me show you what I actually had to do if I've still got the photo. So as soon as I went from the PC to a Mac, I was like, oh God, here we go. So straight away, within 10 minutes of having it, back of the machine, maxed out every port, and now I've got a hub plugged in with another 6 USBs all maxed out. There isn't a port left on the thing, and I've still got 2 monitor cables that I can't plug in yet. So good old Apple with straight to a dongle, even on the M3 Ultra. Oh yeah, I used to be like that with everything. I used to literally, it's similar to the Retro. I used to buy everything so I'd got it in case I needed it, whereas now I've got that much damn stuff. I'm flogging it to everybody on here. I just give people stuff like, do you want a scope worth 300 quid for 5 quid? Yeah. Do you want a bench power supply worth 300 quid? 20 quid. I just chuck stuff away now because I don't want it all cluttering. I like to try and clean it back. And then as soon as I sell something, I need it. So I nearly sold. I've got a massive iPad that I nearly sold. I'm sure somebody on Discord wanted it. It's going to go for like 40 quid. It's £1,000 iPad, I realised after, because now I'm using it as a second monitor on the M3 Ultra. Because I don't have enough ports, I'm using a wireless Mac as a second monitor, well, a third monitor. And I was like, oh, I've got that iPad still. I went to buy one, and it like literally $9.99. I'm like, Jesus, I nearly sold that for 40 quid last week. So sometimes I do just get rid of stuff and then instantly need it again. Oh yeah, I need the depth of field. 1, I want all this shit to be blurry behind me, and 2, Blackmagic and lenses need insane amounts of light. So if I turn off, this is already gained massively. Let me show you what this looks like with the filters turned off, the raw camera. So color correction off, LUT off. That's the raw camera right now. That's what you're seeing from the Blackmagic because it absolutely wants light. So if I turn the spotlight on, put it straight in my face, like you can see, a spotlight straight in my face is almost just enough light. You know, you need ridiculous light on Blackmagics. That's why they're so good. But because they're raw and the high quality, you can gain them up like this with a load of gamma and some contrast tricks, and then you can apply a LUT and get it looking nice. And I can always I can apply a different LUT. So this one is what have I got applied here? Tegan. So you can apply all sorts. You can put like Arabica on. You can put Azariel on. You can really style the image to whatever you like. That's part of the benefit of having really nice cameras. But the one I run is this Tegan, and I can sort of put more color in, put less color in. So that's none, that's some, that's max. And to be honest, I quite like the max. It's just a little bit much. I dial it back a little bit to like there. Oh yeah, I'm the only thing I find with most cameras, I don't know, it's my screen, I haven't calibrated this one yet, is I get a lot of red tone in most cameras on the skin, and I don't think I'm not red, I'm like yellowy. Like my hand on camera, yeah, it's the tinges of red that isn't there. Like I always find most cameras, the color science puts too much red in. So I can tweak it with the color. I just haven't had much time on this setup. I chucked it on this morning. I haven't really perfected the color yet, but it's pretty good on the color. But yeah, the focus distance, moving back, that's blurred. But if I put the iris up, you won't get any light through. So, and on top of that, I didn't want it narrow anyway, because I wanted all this shit behind to be blurry, because it just looks a mess and there's nothing I can do about it. That's like, we need all those tubs to work. So having that blurred actually makes it nice, basically. It blends it all in. Oh, and then that's actually the Blackmagic Ultra camera has just died on me as well. So I don't know why that's turned off. It's perfect timing telling me I need to go anyway. Let's just see why that's turned off. Any reason for it? Maybe it's got a timeout. No, that's just the power supply brick is a bit warm. Maybe this is just decided to time out. Might have to make a power brick for it. Yeah, that I think the power brick I've got for it is probably the wrong one. So that's perfect timing anyway. I'll have to look at that. I've got a power brick that might be for a lower power camera than the studio. So yeah, I might clean juice it. I've got the connector. It's just a 12 volt, so I'll sort that out. And then go from there. So yeah, I will catch you guys probably still in the morning, I'll see. And thanks for joining in. Put these back in the tub, actually. That's mine. I'll tell you what, it's a lot quieter though with that that camera turned off. It's actually got quite a bit of fan noise. See you guys later.